Analysts at Prelude Limited have reviewed Bharti Airtel's Q3 results, highlighting a steady operating performance amidst dynamic market conditions. President of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis has indicated that the Fed is closely monitoring inflation data. He mentioned a preference for observing a few more months of data before considering any interest rate cuts. Kashkari suggested that 2 to 3 rate cuts may be appropriate for 2024. Vedanta's financing plans for Konkala copper mines. CEO Chris Griffith revealed Vedanta's discussions with various financing partners to secure funds for the revival of its Konkala copper mines unit in Zambia. This includes exploring options like selling a minority stake in KCM to raise capital. SJVN Limited has received a letter of intent from Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam Limited for a significant 200 megawatt solar power project. This move reflects the growing momentum towards renewable energy initiatives in India. After 3 consecutive sessions of buying, overseas investors turned net sellers of Indian equities on Wednesday. This shift in investor sentiment underscores the ongoing volatility and uncertainty in global markets. NLC India Limited. They surprised everyone with an interim dividend of 1.50 rupees per share, due by the 6th of March, with a record date of the 16th of February, 2024. JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Limited. There's talk of an impending interim dividend announcement, with a record date set for the 16th of February, 2024. Sun TV Network Limited. Speculation is brewing about them declaring an interim dividend on the 14th of February, 2024. BLS International Services Limited. They're having a meeting on the 12th of February to discuss declaring an interim dividend and setting the record date. Computer Age Management Services Limited. They surprised with an interim dividend of 12 rupees per share, to be paid by the 29th of February, with a record date of the 16th of February, 2024. JK Tyre and Industries Limited. They announced a modest interim dividend of 1 rupees per share, with a record date of the 16th of February, 2024. Akzo Nobel India Limited. They recommended an interim dividend of 50 rupees per share, with a record date of the 16th of February, 2024. Procter & Gamble Health Limited. They declared an interim dividend of 200 rupees per share, to be paid by the 3rd of March, with a record date of the 14th of February, 2024. Sula Vineyards Limited. There's a hint of a potential dividend on the 13th of February, with confirmation expected by the 21st of February, 2024. Finitex Chemical Limited. They are expected to declare their interim dividend on the 14th of February, 2024. Bajaj Consumer Care Limited. They proposed an interim dividend of 3 rupees per share, with the record date set for the 17th of February. Huhtamaki India Limited. They recommended a dividend payment of 5 rupees per share, leaving investors curious about their strategic direction, pending the announcement of the record date. IL Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Limited. Investors celebrated as the company declared an interim dividend of 5 rupees per share, scheduled for the 16th of February, 2024. Disa India Limited. Excitement rose among investors with the announcement of a 100 rupees per share interim dividend. to be paid by the 6th of March, and a record date set for the 16th of February, 2024. Amritanjan Healthcare Limited. Speculation heightened as the company considered a second interim dividend, with the record date set for the 20th of February, 2024. India Nippon Electricals Limited. Market analysts anticipated the company's decision regarding an interim dividend, with a date for declaration set for the 13th of February, 2024. AVT Natural Products Limited. Investors awaited insights into the company's performance as an interim dividend was recommended for the 14th of February, with further details expected by the 22nd of February, 2024. Sunshield Chemicals Limited. Surprising the financial world, the company planned an interim dividend declaration on the 9th of February, setting a record date for the same day. United Vanderhorst Limited. Investors prepared for potential market shifts as the company planned to declare an interim dividend on the 9th of February, 2024. Vijay Finance Limited. Speculation grew regarding the company's future trajectory amidst discussions on equity shares, scheduled for the 12th of February, 2024. Autoriders International Limited. Anticipation mounted as the company prepared to discuss an interim dividend on the 14th of February, with a record date set for the 22nd of February, 2024. Eastern Logica Infoway Limited. Investors were intrigued by the company's unexpected announcement of a bonus share issuance in the ratio of 5:1, scheduled for the 21st of February, 2024. Aksha Spintex Limited. Speculation arose with the revision of the record date for a bonus share issuance in the ratio of 1:5, set for the 15th of February, 2024. Capri Global Capital Limited. Investors pondered the implications of a stock split from 2 rupees to 1 rupees per share, scheduled for the 5th of March, 2024. Shervani Industrial Syndicate Limited. Investor interest peaked with the company's proposal of a buyback on the 14th of February, 2024. Balaji Telefilms Limited. Investors awaited insights into the company's growth plans amidst discussions on raising funds through specified securities, including a rights issue. Affordable Robotic and Automation Limited. Curiosity surrounded the record date set for the 12th of February, 2024, in anticipation of the rights issue. Sharad Industries Limited. Investors awaited further details on the company's plans to raise funds through various instruments, including a rights issue, on the 14th of February, 2024.